Hello, hi, welcome, welcome. I'm working on a new model today. Ta-da! It's a cat. But hi, welcome on in. How is everyone? Let me finish putting that aside. Yeah, welcome on in. I was working on this throughout the day. I think we're mostly done. It is missing the face, and I'm trying to figure out. It is supposed to be this person in cat form, because, they're like a witch and all. So I'm just thinking, do I give it human eyes? Something to consider. Last week I was doing I was trying to do a one model, one day challenge and see how long I could go. I got to about day two. When day three started, immediately all my energy just tanked. So yeah, yesterday was my day off. I rested, relaxed. Hi Kay, welcome on in. So yeah, all my energy just drained yesterday. So I rested. Today I started working on this one. Mostly done with the art, which is about 50% the speed. I think it's coming along nicely. I did watch a couple movies on my day off just to like rest. Ooh, I watched Office Spaces. That was pretty funny. And I watched the new Superman movie. Both pretty good. I like the really I really liked the Superman movie. I don't know what I was expecting, because it's all DC and stuff, and the DC movies were meh. Is putting it nicely. I think my favorite was if any of you have watched it, the Guy Gardner. It was kind of funny. While I was watching Office Spaces, I was immediately. It felt too similar to my old workplace. I don't think it was that bad, but yeah, the mannerisms of like the bosses, yeah. Yeah, working for the Bobs is common. For me, it was what was that boss with the porch? Lambert. Yeah, at least there, in that movie, he made one mistake, and like all the guy would do, his entire job is just to bother people, essentially, right? Whereas even if like I was doing everything correctly, yeah, I would be talked to for like the most mundane things. I think the absolute bottom of the barrel that they scraped for is they're like, oh, when you message people, it sounds very cold, and yeah, I think they just called it cold, simply because I always message like on the Google or whatever. I'm like, hello, comma, insert request, comma, thanks, exclamation point. That was the format of every message I sent. They're like, yeah, you don't call people by their names. And I was like, the company is barely afloat, and this is what people spend their time on. So, yeah, it was like that. Yeah. Good movie. was also watching a few videos on Twitch's updates for bots. I saw a crazy thing. Some of the largest creators, like top, absolute top of Twitch, Kick, etc. Sorry, not Kick. Just top of Twitch, right? Especially the very famous group oriented one. I'm not gonna like name names here, right? If you want to know, you can search it yourself. But yeah, those are people who go with like tens, 20s, even. I think the most was 50,000 viewers. As soon as Twitch rolled out their anti-bot system, they dropped to. Ugh. Yeah, I found it funny since Dan kept saying it was only done with streamers with low view counts. To be fair, the people did have low view counts, except that with the bots, it seems like it's high. Because I saw one case, right, where it was this person who was streaming. Actually, they weren't streaming. They were doing reruns of old VODs from like God knows how long ago. And they had, I think, like 4,000 viewers. As soon as the anti-bot thing kicked in, it dropped to like 200. So yeah, I don't know if they're farming like ad revenue, or is that even profitable. I don't know the numbers here, but I'm genuinely curious. Because yeah, it was just like I think it was a VOD of just them talking and texting and stuff. Pretty person on screen, affiliate links pinned in the chat, and yeah, because there's like 4,000 people allegedly, and the chat is not slow, completely dead. So yeah, it was even some larger creators who I don't think they were botting themselves, but they're just so big that they didn't care. They just looked at the like, huh, I dropped by like 20,000 viewers. I guess those are all bots. Anyway, that's a good thing. It may not be a matter of ad farming, but could be trying to farm attention for the link tree. Oh, yeah. They might not get much from ads, but the few people who wander in, because when people search for new pages, they always look at the ones at the very top. Yeah, from there, they could, click on it, see a link. Yeah, you're right. But it was wild. I used to think that because I have like a couple of the stream bots on, if you click on the community thing, you see them there, like the coffee bot stuff. So back when I first started, I was like, oh, do these count as towards like the viewership? Does that count as inflating the views? Because it may go up by one, all of that stuff. Because I have like the chat bots in there, the stream. Was this stream elements? Yeah, I have the wait, which ones do I have? I have coffee and I have stream elements. So I was like, it would count as if I have two more people than usual. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, then I realized when people talk about like view botting, they mean like throwing 1,000 additional numbers in there. And I later learned that those ones don't even count, so all good. I was just being extra paranoid. Yeah, those bots are registered with Twitch, so they'd be invisible. Ah, okay. Because I imagined, I don't know if they were registered with Twitch, but all I do know is if they're in the chat, but I don't think they have like a browser open, so it wouldn't count anyway, according to Twitch. It's the same if you created your own bot, you're supposed to register it. Ah, okay. I don't know too much about like the Twitch side. I don't do any custom stuff like that, so it's all good. I do know someone who they write their own, not bots, I think scripts. It's not actually in Twitch. I think they use the API. Ah, okay, perfect. It's a strange time for Twitch. I think this is the first time that they're actually ever going after bots. People were genuinely surprised that they actually did it. They thought it was just like, promotional and like we are finally gonna do things so everyone cheers and claps and then nothing changes. But I guess clearing out the bots draws in more advertisers because I think we mentioned this last time. The advertisers were beginning to tell that, oh, this is a botted channel because someone with like thousands of viewers, they get a sponsorship, couple of sales, but someone who has like maybe a couple hundred real viewers, the sales are like way 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 higher. So yeah, eventually I think the advertisers started looking at it and went, something ain't right here. I think that's what pushed Twitch to actually do it. Regardless of the reason, I think it's good. Yeah, my hope was this was driven by advertisers, so they weren't trying to make a profit by paying people less ad revenue. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, because imagine it from the perspective of the ad company. You have paid like a crap ton of money for like 10,000 people to see it, right? Say you pay $1 per person who saw it, right? Just made up number, no basis in reality. So you pay $1, right? If you want to get like 10,000 people to see your product, you're hoping to make more than $10,000 back in profit, so you get return on your investment. Now imagine you sink that much money in, you get nothing back, and then Twitch just shrugs and be like, whoopsie, I guess only bots saw it, not real people. Yeah, they're not going to want to do that again. But if Twitch is not paying ad revenue to people who view bot, right? They would probably retain more of their money and yeah, they stop bleeding so much. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect, but so far so good. Oh yeah, I kept forgetting. I don't know when you or if you plan to stream, but I haven't followed you, James. There, I just did that now. Sounds like some of the hardest hit are the gacha streamers. I'm not sure who exactly was hit the hardest, or like which, like if there's any actual consequences. All I do know is there were people who are like in streamer groups, like the really massive ones that they bring in like 20K viewers each. Those ones, it was revealed that a lot of them had really inflated numbers. So I was like, oh. I mean, it's those groups that are so big that even I know about them, and I basically live under a rock. Sounds like some of the gacha companies were in the group spotting. You mean like the gacha one, like how'd you say this? The games with the gambling in them. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I guessed. Yeah, because it's usually spelled like GA. I got that at first, but then I was like, let me double check just in case. You know what? It's not bad to be a gacha game, but so long as you're not like predatory. I'm not sure what makes a very good one, what makes a very bad one. I did see someone who I was in an artist stream, right? And they were talking about gacha games. And and they were like, "Oh, I've been a gacha player for many years." What they really loved was just opening a game, playing for like 15 minutes, doing the dailies, closing it. Their main complaint was gacha games these days have too much content. Right. Their complaint was all these darn children are now playing gacha games and demanding more content, which I thought was funny. But honestly, gacha not my thing. Although I did see someone play the horse girl game, and I was intrigued. Not because of any of the gameplay, any of like the horses or whatever. During the dialogue, right? This is the artist in me. During the dialogue, I noticed they always have these very subtle but cute poses. Usually in games like that, it's very extreme. Like like a normal person does not stand like that. Whereas this one, it was cute enough to stand out and make a huge difference to their personality or perceived personality, but not so crazy that you point at it and go like, yeah, that's not how a normal person stands, like day-to-day life. Yeah, so I'm like, I might get some good references from this game. That would be interesting. Actually, I don't think so. It'll just be we play the game, but we screenshot every cute pose and character, add it to the reference. The other is good enough in the game to tell the personality from each horse just by looking at it. Exactly. Outfit, expressions, pose, those things, they really bring out like the character before you even hear them speak, before you even see them do anything, right? That's good character design, and I've been trying to like improve my skills on that lately. So yeah, I think even before I started doing full body models again, I was thinking I want to practice and really go into non-standard VTuber models, kind of like the cowgirl one. Yeah, the one we had earlier. I think a few days ago. Yeah, yeah, that one. Because it's not just like a standing face forward model, but I was thinking at the same time, ones that are non-standard, one of the downside is they can't use common assets that are like free on the internet, like on Twitter, on Coffee, etc. Because those ones are designed to just be slapped on top of a normal model that is just neutral position. So yeah, I was thinking about one that is almost neutral position, so they can still use assets, but at the same time, dressed posing dressed enough to really bring out the character's personality. I want to get back into making other full body models. I want to start making one of those customizable ones. You know, the ones where you get like one file, but then you can basically make like a character creator menu. Yeah, I want to try that one. I know the concept, but I'm like, it's a lot of work. I don't know if I have time. I considered making one for like the little mascots you see down here. You make one ball and then you can turn it into like 17 different animals. And then I realized someone can just buy one, post it God knows where, and then yeah, I'd basically they're very easy to yoink and resell. So I decided, you know what, instead of customizable one, I'm just gonna make as many as possible. And yeah, people can just buy one off because someone's not gonna need like different types. If you're like an animal VTuber, right? You're probably not gonna need multiple animals. So yeah, that's something I thought about. They apparently do sell. I've seen a few people who use them and it works for them. Oh yeah, they are. They're really nice ones out there. I think I saw one from this really great artist. I think it's sold for like $100, and you can basically customize it to look like almost anything. And I think that's like a pretty cool. So I'm like, there's already a lot on the market. And I didn't want to do that for something like a mascot. So I was like, maybe if it's a simple one, like, oh, this is a slime, and then you can change the color, add a couple features, etc. Because I've only made like 4 mascot models, and apparently on Booth they have started to sell. I noticed this in like the last week or two. I just get random emails from Booth and be like, someone placed an order. Someone placed an order. So I'm like, maybe I should start making more. I remember someone requested a dragon. So I'm like, what if we make a very round, fat-looking dragon? You know, kind of like this sheep one. The rounder and bouncier it is, you know, like chef's kiss. That's what I like. I have considered maybe. I do have an old full body model that I think I made for practice like a very long time ago. Hold on. The Lava Girl one. This one. I'm thinking I already have the base. I could just fix up the not fix up, but modernize the rigging. Really redo the outfit. I think the outfit sucks. I didn't know what I was doing. Right? Very early days as an artist. So yeah, I was thinking, I already have a model. I could try fixing it up. But that is a future thing for future Ordikai to do. I am a very overworked cat. I did try pushing myself the last couple of days. I did really well. I did two models in 2 days, and I was like, if I keep this rate up, I could finish my 6 months wait list in like about a month or two. I was like, that sounds nice. And then after like day 2, I completely crapped out. I was like, okay, I can pick up the pace, but keep it reasonable. So yeah, it's just finding my limit and not passing it. Much to the disappointment of... I don't know if anyone has seen Black Clover. What is the captain's name? Captain Yami, I think? Yeah. I think my favorite scene was they're getting... Yami, right. They were getting their ass kicked. And he was just there smoking, looking down on them. It's like, have you reached your limit? They're like dying, can't even get up. And they're like, yeah, we've reached our limit. And he's like, good, surpass your limit right here, right now. It's like, damn. Every time I'm jogging and I feel like stop, I'm like, okay, I've gone as far as I can. Time to like take a break, stop, you know, all that stuff. And I think to myself, I have reached my limit now. Let me surpass it. I am fueled by the power of anime. I liked Black Clover in the beginning. I kind of didn't like the latest season, to be honest. Because it was fun when it was just some guy who didn't have powers. But then, you know, now he's just like everyone else. Okay, sure, he doesn't have magical powers like the others, but he's basically the same as them at this point. So yeah, that's my critique. It's not an underdog story if the underdog is as strong as everyone else, you know? Yeah. That's my thoughts. Other than that, I think it was a pretty good show. I watched it when it was on TV, but then they took it off the air, lost track of it. Ah, okay. Yeah, if you watch the first couple of seasons, all good. But then again, you know, it's with shows like this, they have to keep introducing stronger and stronger enemies, otherwise people just don't care. And each time you have a strong enemy, the protagonist has to get stronger to surpass them. And then another one comes along. It's basically Dragon Ball Z, but just like not as stretched out. Yeah, that's what bothered me. Where do these stronger people keep coming from? Exactly. You know what? In fact, when I play D&D with my friends, I'm the DM, forever DM, I might add. They love leveling up, but I noticed that the more they level up, the harder it was for me to actually find monsters for them to beat up, because they started getting way too strong. They'd mop the floor with anything. So I'm like, okay, we need new monsters. And I was facing that problem as well. I have to keep bringing stronger and stronger people, and then they get stronger, and then it's a self-feeding cycle. So yeah, I kind of capped them at level 9. I was like, yeah, you guys aren't surpassing this. This is as strong as you're gonna get for a long time. So yeah, at least then I don't have to. I just need to focus on different enemies rather than constantly stronger ones. It was rough because it's hard to make like a compelling narrative if the solution is just simply, oh, there's a problem, we're strong enough to kill anything, so that's what we're gonna do. Fate Grand Order had a workaround in one area by cursing the player and dropping their level by half. Oh, interesting. That'll be kind of hard to do in D&D because your sheet kind of grows as you level up. It's easy to add to it. It's kind of hard to take away from it. I miss D&D. My friends are busy this weekend, so yeah, we didn't have a session. I still need to prep the one shot for the Discord. I think hopefully next month I can do it. It's been like so much time has passed. I'm a little worried that some people who may have been available, things might have changed. So yeah, I'll have to see. But it's all good. We had a good number. I think we had like 5 people who wanted to join. So even if a couple can't make it anymore, we should be fine. Hmm. I grew up during the satanic panic of the 90s, so I was never allowed to play games like that. Yeah, I never understood the satanic panic. Like most of the time, that game you're killing demons and devils. So, but yeah, it was just one of those things where people who don't know what it is can point and say this is bad, and then the people who listen to them just gasp in horror and say like, "Oh, thank God this person warned me about it." Because I didn't know, I'm now gonna listen to everything else they say, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I didn't actually start playing it until about, I think, 2021. Yeah, this is around the pandemic era. So I was just like, there was a few YouTubers that I was watching, and since they had like the pandemic and everything locked down, no one could like meet up and make content. So one of the things they did was they started playing D&D. It was like the online. They made like a show out of it, right? They just take very large creators who have never played before, just throw them into a game, and then it's run by like a professional DM. And after I was watching it, I was like, oh, this actually looks like fun. So I looked into it, grabbed a bunch of friends who none of us have ever played, and we kind of just learned from there. And yeah, I still have the same people years later. Yeah, it was funny. The game Doom was one of the targets. I'm not sure how slaughtering demons would be anti-Christian. Yeah, a lot of these things don't make sense if you a know what they are, b bother to like look into it yourself, you know, and most of the time this was mostly pandered to like the parents who probably would not be playing the games. So yeah, I did see a meme where someone showed their very religious grandma the game Doom and was like, "This is the game. I get to kill demons. I am doing the Lord's work." And she was like, "Amen." I thought that was funny. I think one of the main gripes they had was not even killing the demons and stuff. It's just D&D has this like very fake pantheon of like gods and stuff. And I think people would see that and go like, "Oh, they are worshiping these other deities, not understanding that people know it's not real and it's just a game." So yeah, when you spread misinformation like that, I can kind of understand why the parents would like panic, especially very religious people. But they taught us Greek mythology in school. Hmm. I guess the parents just don't know what goes on in the school. Because to be fair, when I was in primary school, we had to do a research project on ancient civilizations. So they didn't have like they're like go find one and then make a project on it. So me being little Ordikai, I I went into the library, read the books and stuff, and then the teacher asked for like everyone's presentations, and everyone was presenting one by one, and then I show up with this very large card, uh, in excruciating detail, explaining how the Aztecs worshipped human sacrifice and a lot of their rituals and all of that stuff. Yeah, imagine. I would have been like, how old would I have been? I'd have been like, I think like 7 years old at the time. And then you just see like a little child waddle up to the front of the desk and is like, and then they chopped out their hearts and offered it to the sun god so that the world can continue to exist for another day or something like that. I didn't understand at the time, like, oh, that is a morbid topic. Um, I do now. But yeah, I think if I went to my teacher and was like, hey, this is a cool thing, they would have told me no. But yeah, I didn't ask in advance because they just assumed everyone would go for like ancient Roman or ancient Greek or the very common ones. But that was the last time they didn't direct kids to avoid specific areas. Maybe, I don't know. I think cats are predatory. Their eyes are closer to the center. Yeah. What other weird history projects did I do? I can't remember any. I think I barely remember primary school. I do remember in like the computer rooms, like the computer classrooms. An annoying thing I used to do because most other people were tech illiterate was you do the whole, I think it's Control Alt and then using the keyboard keys you press like up or down and then it just like flips the monitor. Like you used to do that, you could do that with a shortcut key, but I think in the later Windows versions you have to open up the whole like, what's it called, you have to open up like the display settings, then select your monitor and blah blah blah. So yeah, you don't have that shortcut anymore. If there's a way to enable it, I don't know what it is. But yeah, I miss that thing. It used to be so convenient. Like if I wanted to take a screenshot of something that was tall, I would just rotate my monitor by like 90 degrees, screenshot it because it's like tall now, and then flip it back. Good times. It's a pretty advanced eye for a simple mascot model, but it's okay. Nowadays, some monitors can be flipped and automatically adjust the screen. You mean like you physically turn the monitor and it adjusts, or? Yep. Oh. Resource-wise, that seems very... Yeah, I was gonna say that seems a bit wasteful, because now you have to buy a gyroscope. And... not a gyroscope, but like the gyroscopic sensors. Or accelerometers. Yeah, you want to use gyroscope, sorry. I was thinking accelerometers. For a feature that you'll probably only ever use like once, I was like, it makes sense that you only see it in the higher end ones, because that's like that's a bit of a higher cost. Okay, those things can be cheap, but you know people are gonna mark up a lot. I was looking into getting another monitor, but I saw they were like I was looking into like 4K monitors, and I was like, that one costs £100. It's fine. I'll live with that one. I was even considering maybe it's time I get back into the corpo world. Enjoyed my little vacation, and then I think I watched I watched Office Space, and I was like, maybe not. Like my 4K monitor, but I had to do scaling to about 200% just to see the text. Ah, yeah, I can imagine that it does get a bit tiny. because I have a second monitor, which is about seven. Yeah, it's 720p. Whenever I drop any of my tabs into it, everything it feels like everything gets like zoomed in and very cramped. So yeah, I think I've been spoiled by this one. I was seriously considering it like today, and I was like, the main benefit I see it having is I now have higher resolution screen recordings, which would be very useful when it comes to recording showcase videos. But I was like, the return on that investment probably wouldn't be too much. So, mm, what to do? Based on Steam surveys, at least the last one I looked at, most people still use 1080. Makes sense. Because it's pretty good. The only issue I have is not me using it, but if I record something and say I need to zoom it in, then it starts to get a bit grainy. But then again, that's it's not a big enough deal for me to actually do something about it. So I was like, nah, I won't get one. At least not yet. I was also reminded of like different standards. Like different people have different standards depending on like where they live and stuff. Because we had the other day someone was saying they got they're like, yeah, I scrounged around and got like this very cheap battered monitor, but hey, it was free. Turns out it's probably nicer than the one I currently have, and I thought that was funny. It also increases the file size of the videos by a lot. True, but whenever I make like recordings for showcases, the videos are like a minute maximum. Ooh, I do understand now. Yeah, I was watching a creator talk about like VODs and stuff, and they're like, yeah, I don't have the space to like save VODs, like record VODs locally and then upload them later. Then, I wondered why. Then I realized, oh, right. I was playing Wildmender with Feather a while back, and we streamed for like 8 hours, and I was streaming, I think 1080p. That 1080p VOD for about 8 hours was like 70 GB. So if you are streaming basically every day over 8 hours and at like 4K resolution, yeah, I can imagine people's PCs don't have the space for it, no matter how much you buy, right? So yeah, that's something I hadn't considered, but now that you mentioned it, yeah, all the pieces kind of just clicked into place. I was like, that was probably what they were talking about. They built a NAS that has 740B drives in a RAID 5 to have the room in front of you. Oh, that's pretty cool. I considered I made one with like a Raspberry Pi, but then I realized the file transfer rate was kind of slow compared to just plugging it in. So what I do now is I have like 4 hard drives. They're not just one storage. What it is they're all clones of each other, so that if anything happens to even one of them, I have like 3 other backups. So yeah, just like once every week, once every 2 weeks, what I do is I just go plug in my computer and then just start cloning my main hard drive, because I don't store things really on my computer. I store everything on that hard drive. That way, in case of anything, I just grab the hard drive and all my data is secure. All the models, all the art, all the commission work, stream stuff, etc. Right? Even all my past programs and code that I've written is not much, but it's there. So yeah, SSDs or HDD? These ones are HDD because these one. Wait, I think one of them is SSD. Yeah, these ones were not drives that I bought, but they were ones that I salvaged from broken computers and things like that. So yeah, I basically got them all for free. Or when I upgraded my laptop from HDD to SSD, yeah, the old drive, I just wiped it and I'm like, okay, I got an enclosure for it. It is now it is now a hard drive. If there were SSDs, I was gonna warn about the wear life. Ah, I didn't know they had a wear life. I mean, I know everything breaks eventually. That's why I have multiple. I was thinking, even if by some strange chance 3 of them just die on the exact same day, I will still be fine because I have another backup and I have the original. Besides, hard drives these days getting a lot cheaper than I remember. Do you know? I was going through some old stuff and I found this little box which had this old flash disk of mine. Right, I remember I had this in school. This flash disk, right, this thumb drive, as some people call them, was a whopping 512 MB. It's so old that I don't know what happened to the case. I think the case broke. So yeah, it's literally just the USB head, and then you see like the exposed electronics. I still have it. It's in a box. I haven't plugged it in. I wonder if it still works. Yeah, I remember once upon a time, it was my laptop's password reset key. Because like you forget your computer's password, you just plug in the hard drive. You just plug in the thumb drive, and you go, forget my password. Here it is. Create new one. Even if it does, it might be corrupted as the voltage degrades over time. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't think it has any of the saved data on it, because yeah, this I had 16 to 18 years ago. Yeah, it's a very old thumb drive. Even HDDs lose magnetism over time as well. Yeah, I think that's why you need to like plug them in. What? How long can it go without being plugged in? I think like it could be a few years, right? Well, mine get plugged in. I think like once or twice a week. Think so? Never tested it. Yeah, that's sort of the things that gets me when it comes to like old. When it comes to movies, and they find like this old floppy disk or this thing from like 70 years ago, and they just plug it in and everything works fine. Yeah, I see that and I go, I don't think that would have worked. I don't know about CDs. Was the analog a little easier to fix? I suppose. I do know that my mom digitized all of our old VHS tapes. Like I'm talking baby videos, vacation stuff like that, you know. I think there's like a God knows how much is yeah, there was like a my mom basically videoed everything, every day of us growing up from like I think before I was born, cuz I have an older brother, right? I think from when he was born till about God, I can't even remember because she still takes pictures and videos to this day, so I don't think she ever stopped. But yeah, we had like stacks upon stacks upon stacks of VHS tapes. So what she did was she took it to a store and they converted it into CDs, and she got a digital copy that's on a hard drive. So when I went to visit, I think like about a over a year ago, I went to visit my parents and hung out with them for I hung out with them for a few months before I came before I went to Malaysia to work. My mom was showing me the thing and I just took the hard drive. I'm like, okay, I know my parents. This thing will die one day and they're all gonna panic. So I cloned it and it's on my hard drive, and yeah, now it went from being one copy in one cupboard in someone's house into several copies scattered across the world. So, you know, those things are gonna last forever. Even when I travel, right? I keep the hard drives in different suitcases. I keep like a couple in my backpack and then one in each suitcase that I carry. So yeah, I'm very, very cautious about protecting my data. CDs degrade over time and fail after about 30 years average. Yeah, I think there's still like 10 to 20 years left. I don't know how long it was when they digitized it, but I know it was. Yeah, they existed as VHS tapes for a very long time. So yeah, there's a couple of decades left before those CDs kind of die out. But either way, doesn't matter because I have my own digital copy. Yeah, I was worried that I think it will die, and if my mom ever loses like those copies, she's a very sentimental person. She would be devastated, like beyond what's the word? Consolation. Yeah. So I was like, this could be a future problem. So let me just prepare for that in case. Yeah, it's just all baby videos, us as a family on vacation, you know, all the cutesy nice stuff. Well, I'm glad I have my extra bottle of water here. I already ran out. Ooh, I did see some videos. Speaking of technology, I did see some videos on, you know, the whole brain implants and Neuralink and all that stuff. I saw that was not looking good. Well, it depends on perspective and regulation that doesn't exist yet. I think Neuralink, Elon's one, what they wanted to do was they wanted to kind of insert needles deep into the brain, and that actually caused like brain damage. It like caused like scar tissue in the brain. So I was like, that's kind of bad. I did see some people. There were, what's it called? Some of the complaints were, how do you put this? They were worried about the dystopian cyberpunk future, like in the games, movies, right? Which I kind of understand. And truth be told, I think it's a bad thing to kind of commercialize it, like just give it to the public. I think that's pretty bad because a lot of the times it seemed to be working really great when, what's it called? They would use it in the medical industry because there's some people who are like paralyzed. They can't do anything. Once they have the stuff, they're able to kind of decode the brainwaves and generate text that they're thinking. And it seemed really great. And I was like, you know what? That's a win for humanity. But I'm like, like all tools, it could be abused. So yeah, I feel the same way about I think like ChatGPT and just generative AI. It's good in, maybe not generative AI, just AI in general. I think it's pretty good in the medical industry, science, research, etc. Used by professionals for like, good things. That's where I can get behind it. But just giving it to like any random clown with an internet connection to do God knows what, I'm like, that's not good. Good use case for them is controlling mechanical limbs. But it's just another attack vector. Yeah, I would never insert anything into my body like that. Simply because I don't trust technology. These things are always hacked. Data breaches are a regular thing. Most people just don't hear about them. I did see the way they currently control like bionic limbs to some extent is they attach oh oops. Yeah, they attach sensors into like the muscle on the severed limb, right? And then it can read like the compression of the muscles from there and they can kind of control it. So it's pretty good. They didn't actually need the brain. They were just taking the signals on like the end of the muscle itself. If I remember correctly, Bill Gates implanted an RFID chip into his hand to activate his house. Yeah, it sounds like a very 90s thing to do. Because now I see that as a huge security risk. He's at a party, at a conference, someone bumps into him, clones that RFID chip, now has access to his house. I actually built one of those scanners, right? Because yeah, I built it for my brother. He was doing a cybersecurity. No, I actually don't think it was a project of his, right? It was just a fun thing like he was doing. He asked me to like he told me what it was and what he wanted. So we came up with the blueprints together, and I have like the more physical, technical experience. So yeah, it's just basic soldering of stuff that you just yoink online. And yeah, he had a little thing you can shove under your sleeve, shake hands with people, and it clones anything that comes close to it. And it stores the data, and you can just kind of, if you kind of remember the order of which ones you clone them, yeah, you can just yoink them all. People are doing that with power plugs and copying data from Android devices when they plug them into the wall USB. Oh yeah, I never trust any of those. If I need to charge my phone, I'm connecting my power, the charger head into a wall socket, not a USB cable into a random USB port on the wall. Nope, no thank you. Because okay, in the airports, right? This is something that I do. You find plugs, yes, but sometimes they're occupied. Like someone is already charging their phone, they're already using their laptop, and you can't just ask them, "Hey, can you disconnect your thing because I want to use it?" Not really something you can do. So what I do is when I travel in my backpack, I have an extension cord. So if there's like one socket in a random hallway and someone's charging their laptop, and I'm like waiting for my flight, I can just pull out the extension cord and be like, "Hey, can I plug this in real quick?" And then we can both use it, and yeah, problem solved. I've only ever done that once because I plan my flights so that there's very little layover. And yeah, I always plan it so that there's like 3 hours between flights, so I have enough time to get lost, maybe get a snack, go to the bathroom, etc., and not panic, not miss my flight. So yeah, that's a little life hack that I have. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm sick of traveling. I hate planes. I've traveled too much in my life. I'm ready to just not. To be fair, even if I'm in a train for like over an hour, I start getting like war flashbacks of being in planes, being trapped. Being trapped in a giant aluminum tube just thrown across the sky for like 20 plus hours. Not a fun experience. I think like by the end of each of those trips, I feel like those animals caught in a bear trap. I'm just ready to chew off my own leg just to get it over with. Yeah. Anyway, I don't plan on doing any traveling for a while. Speaking of Elon, PayPal, I hate it. Simply because I moved from Malaysia to the UK. Now, I made that PayPal account while I was in Malaysia. The problem is, it's a Malaysian PayPal account. And after I moved, I was not able to change the country. And you know what the annoying thing is? They're like, "Oh, you have to close the account, make a new one." Okay, fair. Not a big deal. Unless you are making like a business account, being artist and all of that stuff. When you make a PayPal account, like, and the whole business thing, whatever, when people send you money, you're not able to access it for like ages. I can't remember how long. I remember being annoyed by it in the beginning, right? Until you build like a history and reputation with them, and they're like, "Okay, you get your funds immediately." There is a period where you will receive the money in PayPal, but it's like these funds are on hold. They have like a waiting period. So yeah, I have to do all of that again with a new account simply because I moved country. I think YouTube does the same thing once you register with AdSense. You have to keep a bank in the country you signed up for it. But I think you can move it, right? And even if you can't, I think if you close it and open a new one, you still get the funds in, like, for example, you have like content that's already bringing in ad revenue. You can already, like, as soon as the money comes in, like it's the payment period and all that stuff, you can cash out instantly. But yeah, with PayPal you can't do that because there's very small, there's very little. Actually, there's no verification at all. I mean, you can give them your ID and driver's license. I don't, but like anyone, just anyone can make an account, and they're dealing with money and there's regulations and all that stuff. So yeah, I understand why. I just don't like it. It's rough. Anyway, I made the new account, plugged it into my Vision, my booth, all of this stuff. So when I get like paid for commissions, I think like for the next few months, I don't think I can actually access most of it, which is okay. I do have my savings and stuff. But it's not a nice feeling. You have your money, but you can't open it. Also, that PayPal has been banning not safe for work artists lately, so they are dangerous to work with. Yeah, honestly, I'd avoid them if I could. But a lot of my clients are like international, so yeah. To be fair, I think I have I have two types of clients, right? This is my guesstimate based on mannerisms and stuff. They either they're either a little older, like just well put together in life and all of that stuff, experienced, wise, yada yada yada, capable of making good financial decisions. And I think on the other end of the spectrum is probably people on the younger side who they maybe just got their paycheck and they're like, okay, I have like a couple $100 left over. I'm gonna spend it on VTuber model because it's something that strikes me as maybe something the younger people would do, as well as just the way like they chat. So yeah, I'm like, Sorry, I had a point I was going with, but I completely forgot what it was. I started that story, and then halfway through, I'm like, where is this going? Oh, right, I remember. Yeah, so usually people on the younger side, I remember where we're going. People on the younger side sometimes just don't have bank accounts. Maybe they have a PayPal. So it's useful for me to have it so that, I can receive payments from them. I have that on VGen, right? I have the option where people can actually pay with like their credit card or they can pay with like PayPal. I kind of don't like the card payment for like one reason only. But it's a reason I completely understand. When you pay through VGen, like you give them like through a card, through a bank transfer, you send the money to VGen and then VGen holds onto it until the commission is complete. It's very useful for like avoiding like scams and things like that, right? So completely understandable. Like for example, the artist doesn't like deliver. VGen can easily just go, "Oh, oops, sorry. Here's your money back." Right? So, yeah, the downside is, for example, I have like a 6 month wait list. So if someone commissions me and they're at like if they use like they pay with like a card at the end of like that 6 months queue, I don't get that money until like the very end. So also protects them from chargeback companies if the charge for yeah, true, there is that level of protection. Fortunately, I've never had that issue, so kind of grateful. Ooh, I heard tips through stream elements. I remember seeing a larger creator talking about it, and Apparently, it does have some level of chargeback protection. As soon as I heard that, I swapped over from Streamlabs to Stream Elements, like the little donate link at the bottom in the about section. Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have never encountered any of those issues, but I am always wary. I think I want to get back into not even not safe for work art, but just illustrations of the more tasteful kind, the kind you don't need to put a filter on, but it's always nice to draw. It's very good practice, right? I said this before. Shading references. If you want to shade skin tones, more lewd, not safe for work art is usually where you get like the best quality references. A little bit unorthodox, even if you're a safe for work creator, because that's usually where you find people put like the most attention to detail. So yeah, when I was learning like color and all that stuff, I did put a yeah, I was learning from a lot of not safe for work artists that I followed, because I would see their work. I'm like, the shading on this skin is like gorgeous, completely ignoring everything else about the illustration. I can't remember who, but someone said when they get a model, may they look for feed artists and choose them. A little bit unorthodox, but if it works for them, maybe they just really wanted an artist who pays attention to detail. I don't know. Yep. Because to be fair, drawing feet is like kind of hard, in my opinion. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it does have its challenges, for me at least. It's like that's one of the things I don't like too much about full body models. But hey, I endure, I get through it. Watch out, there's a. God damn it. I tried ducking. I couldn't tab into. I couldn't tab into what's it called? VTube Studio fast enough. But hi, Feather. What are you doing up? We're talking about lewd art. How's it going? But yeah, I did hear about the PayPal thing. I was like, I don't. I don't really focus on selling loot art, so I'm all good. Well, F me, I'll go back to bed then, I guess. Accusatory asks, what are you doing up? It is out of curiosity, as it's a deviation from the norm, and it is a sign that is concern for your well being. That is all. Care to comment on the matter? Visit when I can. Well, thanks for stopping by. It's not that bad. True, it is about the time that I wake up. So I'm just wondering, are you up late or up early? Because those are two very different things. Up early, if anything, overslept, just sorting through some stuff, and might sleep again. Pretty streaming earlier than usual today, but I don't know. Understandable. You need to go to bed. Thanks for stopping by. Fun fact, I was thinking about overlap in communities, and I was just today I was thinking I think it might be I don't think there's a lot of overlap in our communities simply because A, we're not lewd here. B, we talk about maybe more science or, for lack of a better term, higher brow topics. And I was thinking, if Feather's community comes here, they might suffer, and they're at a huge risk of debimbofication. And the story you told us about the other day, the whole mod thing, and you dispelled it. I was like, oh, that might happen if they show up here. And I just woke up. Don't thanks for stopping by. That was okay. Do you know what that was? That was me explaining a very basic graph, right? There's nothing complex about it. Did you ever see the chart? I think I showed it to a couple other people stopped by. I think Maya and I forgot who else. You know what? I'm pulling up the chart. I want you to see. I should probably just save this at this point. Yeah, here it is. This is the chart, right? And I was explaining very basic data. So I'm like, okay, how do you want to know how long you can stay out in the sun? Say you're in, I think Australia is kind of hot, right? Say you have a UV index of 10 that day. And, you follow this chart. You go to where it says UV damage. And then you just go to the side and be like, okay, if the UV index is 10, you can only stay maximum out in the sun for 20 minutes before you start experiencing sun damage, sunburn, open yourself up to skin cancer in a few decades, right? That's what I was explaining. We have the highest rate of skin cancer in the world because our UV is too intense. Like, kids at school aren't allowed outside without hats. Oh, yeah. So this chart would have been very useful for any Australians who were around. So yeah, I was explaining that I am a very cautious cat to the point that I never go out unless it is within this area, this level of UV radiation. And even so, I never go out for more than like 10 minutes if I can help it. Phoenix is 9 basically every day. I understand. Like my home country, like I googled it the other day. I think that date was around like 10, 11. I was like, ugh. Because I was seeing this. I'm like, you know what I really like about the UK? The sun does not cook me. Since you remember, Australia is massive. Hmm. Yep. I suddenly do not want to visit Australia anymore. Spiders aside, you should bring up a graph like this in your chat. Watch the viewership drop to like 2. I was just thinking about it the other day because I noticed the energy in different streams. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just like what people are drawn to. So yeah, I'm like, a lot of Feathers community. It's a lot of the lewd content and that kind of stuff. And I was like, what am I doing here? I feel like the outlier. Who else in your community is a very say-so person? Because I can't tell. Sometimes you see the texting or like the way they chat, right? And you're like, okay, this may be another non-lewd person. And then 5 minutes later, you probably already understand. Yeah, that opinion changes. So yeah, I'm generally curious. Yeah, I think she's one of the few non-lewd people. How does that make you feel? I think you mentioned it. I think you're on stream, and you were like, it's like when I started streaming, I thought I'd have a wholesome community. How's that working out for you? They're all wonderful, by the way. I really did think that. Oh, a clip. What is this titled? Or the undebuffs people? I wonder if hmm. I don't think I'm a very clippable channel. You know, we have just long discussions, just long topics. Autobot, held for misogyny. No, wait, we allow the word bimbo here. Bimbo is a banned word for clips. Understandable. Yeah, I revamped my moderation. We talk a lot about like AI and stuff, not just like for art stuff, just in general, because the science is fascinating. So yeah, I was telling Seller and Kim like, yeah, you've just fallen victim to the people who have also lost their jobs due to AI. Fortunately, I will still be paying your salary, so you have nothing to worry about. The joke is I don't pay them, so yeah, that's still zero. I'm hilarious. I think like this entire stream we're mostly just yapping. I have completed one eye. To be fair, I did the rest of the model earlier in the day, so I was already kind of tired. I think that's pretty good. I still haven't found the line where some VTuber fans accept and reject AI. Many who hate AI love AI streamers, so it's kind of weird. To be fair, not all AI is bad. Like for example, the one that generates images, etc., through like stolen art, that's trained on stolen data. Yeah, that one everyone hates, kinda. The AI streamers, now they are some. Actually, I don't know if they are. I imagine they are. Someone just gets a random bot, throws up a model, and is like, there you go. This is now a streamer. Give it money. I want to generate it. Or you have people who are, I think it's like Vidal, right? He, I think he built the AI bot himself, and I don't think it's trained off of like stolen data, essentially. Yeah, like Neurosama. The one who created her was called Vidal. That I think is an, I think it's an ethic. I'm not too sure, right? But based on what I've seen, I think it's like a more ethical use. Originally, it was trained off of Reddit. Yeah, I don't think that counts as stolen data, to be fair. Also, if I was training a bot, I would not train it off of Reddit. She does have filters, right? So whenever she's about to say something that she's not supposed to, like it's like she has her own auto mod essentially. She just says the word filtered, filtered, and I think that's funny because you know she's about to say crazy stuff. She has a separate AI bot that handles the filtering. Ah, yeah, I've not really delved too deep into how it works. I saw like that. I know that he made it himself, and I see a lot of clips of her, and I think it's really cool. But it's one of those things that, yeah, I think she blew up a few times because of race. That is why you do not train your AI off of Reddit. Seriously, of all places. But I guess I can understand why, because you know it's just a lot of information out there, even though some of it is maybe bad data, for lack of a better term. I think the concept is pretty funny because it's one guy doing it, and he's doing it kind of, you know, it feels like he has standards in place, right? He's not like ripping someone off or doing it for money. He's doing it because like he loved building it and he's made like his content around it rather than just like, hey, this is the bot. Go make money for me. You know, he's very passionate about building it, and that's what I really love. The only thing that I'm worried about is someone creates an AI model like that and is like, hey, buy this for $1,000 and you can just put it on stream and it'll earn you money. You don't even have to be a streamer. You will be earning that streamer revenue anyway. And then it's just the market gets flooded with all these AI bots making. If someone is making it for the money, you can imagine that the quality would be a lot less than your Sama. So, yeah. The other AI are doing as well, though. Yeah, because I think. Okay, I've not seen them. But if I had to guess, if someone was to make an AI streamer and that AI is just running the stream, it sounds like they just want to get like the streamer revenue. Again, I've never seen any of them, but if I had to guess from the outside looking in, my own head canon, that's kind of the vibe that I get. You see, that's one of the things. Like Neurosama, AI, passion project, super fun. I love to see it. Random AI running random VTuber model on random stream doing random stuff. Low quality content that's just, trying to farm revenue for whoever's just hosting it on their PC. That's technology being used for the worse. That's a shame, right? You're supposed to, automate the boring stuff no one wants to do, and then humanity can, do the fun things, make art, play games. What kind of dystopian future do we live in where we outsource playing games, having fun, creativity to robots? I did see like Zoomers in Gen Alpha. They started using the Star Wars slur for like the droid army. They start calling AI a clanker. I think that's pretty funny. I love Star Wars. The Clone Wars, the animated show, that was peak. The movies were so, in my opinion. I think the difference is the interactions between creator and AI. Yeah, the other AI that aren't doing so well. I wonder if you've seen any. Is the creator actually around, or is it only the model on stream? Out of curiosity. You know what? Let's see if you can find one. If you know any. Never undress the AI. I wonder. Okay, I see 8 of them on the virtual YouTuber wiki. Well, technically 6 of them. 2 of them are Neurosama. Sure looks like they have the nicer model. Okay, this one's on YouTube. This one has 1.5k subscribers. I want to see this. This one seems to be kind of like Beetle. I think this one's called Project Viola. The guy seems to have made it, and he runs the streams with it. That I see as good case. Yeah, if you're using it as part of your content, I can see that as a good thing. Like you're creating content with this fun thing. But if you're just like you said, Minecraft player who converted their person streams into AI, trained off them to farm kids, yeah, that is someone who is out to make money, and not really for the craft. It's fine if you love what you do and you make money off of it as well. Artists should be paid. I would know. But it's very different if it's a cash grab. I hope I'm making that point clear. Like it shows. Bag, you're a cash grab. I wish. That would imply I have cash. Yeah, we're just looking at the other the AI VTubers. I only clicked on one link, to be fair, and it was like another Beetle situation where developer makes a bot, and they make their content with it rather than Idris doing the stuff. That I think is okay and pretty cool. But yeah, the one that like James is talking about, someone just makes an AI to do stuff for them, so it farms views, farms ad revenue, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's the dystopian future. I feel like replacement versus a tool. That's actually the downfall of Duolingo, right? if they were like, hey, we're going to be using AI to help our linguists make better languages, make better lessons, no one would have cared. There'd be a few grumpy people shaking their fist, but yeah. Instead, they were like, we are getting rid of humans and we're only using AI. And yeah, that's where everyone turned on them. So it's a good example of replacement versus tool. Yeah. Vidal's using it as a tool, which I think is great. But to replace like the entire stream with an AI avatar, I don't know. To be fair, streaming is kind of fun. So I don't know. I guess it's the same with art, right? Um, like for example, like I was talking about streaming being fun, you know. So like that's kind of the point of streaming. But the people who would use AI are not interested in doing it. They're only interested in what it brings them, right? So people who use AI tools for art aren't interested in drawing art or creating art. They're only interested in just having it. So, yeah. I guess it's kind of the same. People want the thing, but they don't want to either put in the time, money, or effort to get it. Actually, I saw that online. Someone they're basically talking about the mentality of people who would like advocate for AI tools to generate art. The TLDR was those are the people who they want the thing but they don't want to learn, and yeah, they don't want to spend the time to learn to do it themselves, nor do they want to pay someone to do it for them. So it was boiled down to just entitlement. They wanted the thing, but they felt like they just deserved it, you know? So yeah, that was an interesting take that I saw. I never thought of it that way, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Okay, this is just a placeholder. I accidentally went over budget with this model. It was supposed to be a very simple one. I can't help myself sometimes. I think one of the problems I have as an artist is I have so much fun doing the thing where I end up creating so many free stuff and give it away just because I'm like, this would be a cool thing to make, and just, yeah. I need to learn to charge people for services more. Hi, Vani. Long time no see. Welcome, welcome. How's your vacation going? Good. Got home today. Ah. Was it a fun trip? This looks like a dog's nose. say that derogatory? You're a dog's nose? Hey, you take that back. I am a cat, sir. Do you not see the ears? I love that feature. I've started to include it on anyone who has jiggly ears. Ow. Hey. I see a bruise, not gonna lie. I have the toggle, but I think I disabled it because I ran out of keys. Yeah, I may have gone a bit overboard with this model. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I have like 12 toggles in this. So yeah, I literally ran out of keys because I used the numpad. And then I also have a bunch of the keys that I reserve for like position toggles, like this one, this one, this one. Yeah. So I straight up just ran out. I think the nose is too big. I think also the shape is weird. Yeah. Maybe with no toggles. You could probably update Kbong to automatically toggle and have it reset after delay. Ah. Oh god, that'll be like yeah, what I could do is I wouldn't connect it to Kbonk because I don't think Kbonk has any other special outputs like that. What I'd do is I'd connect it to the throw brick redeem so that when someone toggles that one, there'll be a bit of a delay after the brick is thrown and stuff, and then like the bruise appears slowly. Yeah, I'm already thinking about it. But with the amount of bricks that get thrown, those bruises would basically never go away. But bruises do that anyway? Yeah. In fact, that's why I don't think a lot of people realize that. Oh, hi, Wally. Let's come to my table. Hold on. Okay, you can just sit right here. He's blocking the screen, so that's why we're not productive. Yeah. It's definitely Wally's fault. If it's a large amount of bricks, not the singles, yeah, make it for the several bricks that don't redeem. I'm thinking I might get rid of that one. And the only time that 1,000 bricks get thrown at one go is when people roll a natural 20 on the dice here. You know, make it a special occasion. Because if someone gets a 20, all those bricks get thrown at me. But then it's not too special because someone can just simply, you know, redeem it for 1,000 channel points. And yeah. So that's something I was considering. But then again, I haven't really worked on anything stream related for a while. I'm in the commission hole. In fact, I was consuming an ungodly amount of caffeine. I think yesterday I started experiencing chest pains because of it, and that's when I knew, okay, I need to calm down a little bit. So I took the day off, rested, watched some movies. You know, my faith in superhero movies was restored. So yeah, Superman, great movie. I want to watch Fantastic Four next. I don't think it'll be, yeah, I don't think it did as well, but hey, if I'm learning to chill, might as well. You can do a modular on the number thrown. You can do it after X bricks. That sounds like a lot of work with different software. And I'm getting flashbacks into setting up this dice. You see this one here? Yeah, that was a nightmare. Like, I stressed for so long on how to get one software to run the thing. Because, like, for example, Mix It Up can run animations and toggles, but it doesn't have random number generator. And I think it was missing something else. I can't remember what. But StreamerBot could run a lot of stuff on the software side, but I couldn't get it to connect to VTube Studios and trigger the animation. So I'm like, each of these can only do some of it. In fact, I think I still have the chart. Yeah, this is the chart. So basically, you do the redeem on Twitch. It gets sent to StreamerBot. StreamerBot, random number generator, 1 to 20. Then if it rolls a 1, sends the 1 command. Rolls a 2, sends the 2 command. So on and so forth, 20 times. So I had to make 20 different commands for this. Now, on Mix It Up, I needed to receive that command. So I had to make 20 more commands so that Mix It Up can get the right number. And then from there, it outputs 20 more commands to trigger one of the 20 individually animated dice rolls. So yeah, it was a nightmare. It took me several months to figure out. So yeah. Nice drawing in Paint. Pirate Software, did your dad work at Blizzard too? Hey, this is what my art looks like if you don't pay me. Right? Okay, Wally's head is in the way. High budget. No budget. High budget. No budget. So, don't be stingy. You get what you pay for. In fact, I struggle at drawing things out because you see up here, this is the stabilizer, it's on, which means if I want to draw a circle, oops. If I want to draw like a circle quickly, it gets wonky because the stabilizer's on. Dude, I told myself I was gonna be so effing good about not talking shit about anyone on my stream. Within a week, I pulled up Paint on stream for something, immediately made fun of Pirate Software. And I know what you mean. I try not to, or if this is what I do. Well, I guess in that one instant, the joke wouldn't land if people didn't know. If I'm talking about something interesting that I saw with like other creators, I try not to mention which creator it is. Like, I don't mention the name. Literally before you came, we were talking about Twitch's botting or Twitch's anti-botting system. It like kicked in, I think, a few days ago. And yeah, we were talking about a lot of streamers who, there are a lot of streamers who, thousands of viewers, even very, very famous on like the very top of Twitch, the ones that reel in like 10 to 50,000 viewers, as soon as the changes took place, some of them dropped from like thousands to like 200 viewers. And even some of the largest creators, their viewership dropped by like 20,000. Like, I know the names of which ones and all that stuff, but yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I'm a VTuber. We don't get involved in drama. Hi, Hypnos. Welcome, welcome. I was just over-explaining how my dice works. See that one over there on the staff? Yeah. This is just to get it to roll. This one. Hold on. I have to show this off. Yeah, roll dice. You get random number. So yeah, that's what this chart is. Yep, see, got an 8. Super, super. I think I lost like 3 years of my life just figuring out how to rig that one. But hi, welcome on in. We're talking about making fun of other streamers and how we don't do that. And when, there goes that plan. If you're talking about something interesting, like you want to share with like chat, my recommendation is just don't mention the name and you're golden. Because I do see like how do you say this? Sometimes I see interesting topics and debates and like, for example, the botting thing, right? How Twitch basically Thanos snapped a lot of people's viewerships to ashes simply because they were just botting. It's so cool. Thank you. It's the number one proudest thing that I have ever made. So I'm glad you like it. But yeah, I was mentioning earlier that when we were talking about the botting thing, there was one channel, like I saw someone like talking about it. It's basically someone just doing reruns of very old streams, and they have like 4,000 viewers. And they have like the affiliate links pinned in the chat, and it's just a attractive person on screen yapping about God knows what, and like 4,000 quote unquote people in the chat. So yeah, after the thing was rolled out, immediately that number, looking at the Twitch analytics, went from 4,000 to about 200, and I was like, yikes. I'm glad Twitch is actually doing something about it, because if they stop paying ad money to bots, then they stop bleeding so much money themselves, and they might actually be profitable. And if they're doing good, then the platform improves as a whole, and it's a plus for everyone, except for scammers who are view botting. But we don't care about them. It's okay. Anyway, welcome to the art stream, where we do anything except art and just yap instead. Hi, Wally. He's sleeping on my table. He does this at night when I bring him back into my room. He likes to sleep right in between my keyboard and my monitor. So I think like the bottom half of my screen completely blocked off. I think he just wants attention. It's okay. He's so cute. Hi, Wally. Speak for the people. He's not a very vocal cat. Unless he's picking a fight with someone else, which is basically every day. In fact, this morning he was super excited. He started fighting with my housemate's cat. As soon as Julian enters the room, she goes to look at the window. He wastes zero time, immediately ducks down, locks into her, pounces. He's so mean. And each and every time, I always take videos. I send it to my friend who, is his owner. And I'm like, look at your son. How have you raised him? I start bothering her like I'm one of those very nosy aunts or uncles, that the extended family that you don't see but always have negative things to comment. Yeah. I like bothering her like that. I think it's funny. Ooh, one downside is his tail is right where the mouse is. So sometimes he flicks his tail and it just clicks randomly on my mouse, which is a bit dangerous. I have a stop stream button here. If I accidentally pass over it, right as he like hits it, yeah, stream is gone. Okay, I think we could finish them out today. That's kind of productive today. I did most of the art. Yeah, I think it just needs a bit of rendering, some shading. After that, rigging it shouldn't be too bad. Hey, thanks for the follow. If you're here for art, disclaimer, I apologize. I am a very yappy cat. I never shut up. We'll do like 15 minutes of art in a 3-hour stream. But if you like the yapping, well, this is the place for you. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry, that implies you're leaving. Thanks for joining us. We are not a cult. I think this one is too animalistic. This commission, they were like, hey, this is the model. I think they're like witch twins, and like, I want the twin sister, this one, to be in cat form, sitting on the shoulder. I love putting the mouth kind of high up. It gives them a very smug expression. I think that's adorable. I like both. Well, glad you have stumbled in. I like fruits emotes. I think that other than that, the persons whose emotes I love the most are Henya's. And I only realized this recently. Why? They're super animated. Hold on, I'm about to spam a bunch of them. Right? They're super wiggly, super jiggly. Like for example, like the last one, the laughing one. A lot of the times, you will see an emote where it's basically the exact same thing, except it's a static image, or very simple movements. So I'm like, I'm teaching myself a bit more of animation. So I know live 2D animation, and yeah, actually I've experimented with my own emotes. I made this one, this wave emote, with live 2D animation, so it's a GIF. But I've also been learning the traditional frame by frame animation, so I made this other one, which is also waving. So they're very different. I've been starting to dip my toe in the world of animation, and I've been having fun. I don't think I would ever open commissions for it. Yeah, like Bun's wiggle emote. That looks live 2D to me, but I can't tell for sure. They're live 2D artists, right? I saw them making the model, but I don't think I saw them rigging it yet. I saw them like drawing the art. Oh, we have ads. Okay, I'll wait for them to finish. You know, I'm really loving this new playlist. It's just generic lo-fi, but I think I got a bit tired of my older one. This one has variety. The older one that I had was basically the same genre, the same theme. It's basically it feels like the same energy, same song the entire time. This one I think it goes up, goes down. Some have lyrics, some don't. So yeah, you know what they say about variety, the spice of life. I need more emotes. I'm gonna be completely honest. All of the emotes that I've made, I made for myself so that I can use them in other people's chats. I know like the whole point of emotes is for, you know, people to like sub and then use them and all of that stuff. But I'm like, no, I want this for me. Cuz you know, sometimes I'm in someone's chat and I want to be engaging, but at the same time there are days where I just don't feel like talking and I kind of just go like non-verbal, but want to just be like there, supportive, active in the chat. So, I just go like I just have the emotes. I laugh at jokes with the laughing ones. I wave hi when I pop in. I'm like that IRL sometimes. Like I'll just be with friends and then we'll be hanging out for like 4 hours. I've not said a single word. I haven't gotten more emotes. You could do what Naja did. Naja just they used their model and just screenshotted it. Honestly, that is a great idea. It's a great placeholder one, right? Oh, hi Naja. See, exactly like that. If you wanna have like a placeholder, right? That's what you can do. Like for example, I wanted a laughing one and a crying one, but I could not be bothered to make them, so I just took image of cat and meme image, slapped my hair on top of it, and was like, there we go, I have an emote. I don't know how okay that is in terms of like Twitch and all that, but I'm like, hey, I'll probably change it out before anyone notices. Besides, it's memes, it's public domain, it'll be fine, right? Anyway, if I vanish, the ban hammer strikes my forehead, that's why. It was the memes. Used to be similar, really non-verbal, and I've said that my face into expressive IRL. So it's very frustrating that a lot of my model's expressiveness doesn't show on model. Yeah, I have. You see all of the expressions here on my model. I made it super sensitive, right? Like this one, like I open my eyes slightly, they go full wide, right? I squint a little bit, the eyebrows go all the way down. Super concerned because I'm not very expressive, and some of my best friends say like they call me very robotic, and they're like, "That's what we love about you. It's like our own little pet alien." I was like, "The hell's that supposed to mean?" Oh, I think even its mannerisms and how I talk, the way I am on stream is the way I am when I try to talk to like normal human beings out in the wild. I inject energy, emotion, inflection into my voice. But I realized just the other day that when I was on call with some friends, I talk like I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Oh, I'm doing this thing right now. Oh, the cat just walked in. Yeah, I'm basically like that. Because that's how I am with my closest friends. Because I'm like, you know what? I don't need to put on a show. They know me for me and whatever. So yeah, it's just completely mask off. Yeah, I will just redraw once I can set up my tablet. Exactly. Having it as a placeholder, super useful. Especially since I'm almost fluently smiling, there's not much range. Yeah, even mine, like, this is default. I'm frowning a little. The default is smiling, and I basically never frown. The frowning section of the whole rigging is basically for toggles. I think, which one? I think, yeah, like sad. You'll never see me make this mouth shape normally, because I honestly can't. To be fair, when I was testing the V Bridger rigging on James's model, that was like super sophisticated. It like tracks your eyebrow and all of the shapes and stuff. Like I physically could not make that shape with my face because I have very poor facial control. I had to like use my fingers to bend my eyebrows. So yeah, I was just like, kind of just like, you can't see this, but my hands are on my face. I'm like scrunching my brows manually to achieve like the shape, and I was like, okay, it works. It's not a skill issue, it's just my face. I think I think for the longest time I was just very blank faced, very expression. I'm not like I don't have emotion or anything. It's just they're all very internal. So yeah, I'm not a very. My dad says I'm not a very outward person. It's a skill issue as I can animate my faces very well. Well, the thing is, I just don't. And as a result, I don't have the strongest facial muscles, which means I have basically no wrinkles. And that is one of the things that contributes to my baby face. Yeah, while you will in like the next 10, 20 years, you get crow's feet, you get wrinkles, I will be like a porcelain doll. Yeah, you say that now because you strike me as on the younger side, right? That changes. Give it 10, 20 years. Not to be very morbid. Reminds me I need to shave. Do notice a touch more track. Ah, yeah. Also, do you not know Kay's age? I think they told me once, but I forgot. I just remember on younger side. I work retail. I'm already withered old hag. I am too, dressed internally. But my condolences. Retail is rough. It's 19, soon 20 though. Okay. If it was less than 18, immediate ban. Actually, no, sorry. I've been thinking about making it an 18 plus channel. For now, I think like I discourage people under the 18. But I'm like, technically, like rules wise, there's nothing about it. So I'm like, I want to add it one day. It's a say so place, right? So yeah, I'm like, should I add it simply so that, it filters people out? What makes you want to go anti-child? Is it my fault? No, no, no. If I ever collab with you or anything like that, I do put the warnings. And then if someone's like, oh, I'm, what's it called? Underage, I'm like, okay, this is not the stream for you. No, then it'll be a time where I'm like, okay, you saw the warning and still showed up. That is a bannable offense, and I'll tell them to go away. And if they don't, then I ban them. But yeah, I think it's just it's not even like, oh, we're doing something that is not for children or anything like that. I think it's just a community cultivation. Because I like the more yapping and I like yapping. I like how do you say this? More, I don't want to say sophisticated because I don't want to come off as douchey. But yeah, I do like talking about things, like worldly experiences, etc., like that. For example, we're talking about like I think it was not yesterday, day before. We were talking about the effects of cognitive offloading and the effects AI has on like the people's brains. Basically, that's fancy way of saying, if I get ChatGPT to do all my thinking for me, does that make me dumber? So we have interesting discussions like that. I was even talking about like how it's not even just AI, even simple things like using Google Maps makes you so bad at like spatial awareness, like your sense of direction becomes terrible. So yeah, I think cultivating a community that likes yapping about specific topics like that, it's like, maybe it might be for the best, just to filter out maybe people showing up and asking what our favorite Roblox game is, that kind of stuff. I just asked ChatGPT the stuff I need to search on 8 sites and get an instant, but is it correct though? Because ChatGPT is designed to sound correct, not be correct. Huge difference. Also, it's bad for the environment. Like it takes a ton of computing power and drains a ton. It uses a lot of water. So yeah, save the environment. Think for yourself. Yeah, you say this high inaccuracy and sheer amount of blah blah blah. Oh, sorry. We mentioned the environment thing, but I want to talk about like the usefulness of the information. When I was working at my previous workplace, they don't have a legal department. They don't have a HR department. They don't have a legal department. Their dumbasses are like, why would we hire someone to do these things? We have Google. We can do it ourselves, right? And then I had problems with my taxes, and we needed like they needed to do like proper legal stuff. Do you know what the COO, second in command of the company, is doing? He's asking ChatGPT about it, and ChatGPT is spouting stuff about like what was it? I needed to know that I think it was, I needed like the residence permit thing and like how it affects my taxes. So he was asking ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was telling things about like taxes in my home country and on this and that. And I literally just interrupted him, like, hey, my home country is not a factor in this equation. We should not even be talking about it. We should be talking about Malaysian regulations and how it affects me based on do I have a residence permit or not? Because they only give it in if you're from very specific countries, and they don't give it if you're from mine. TLDR, instead of doing their work correctly or actually having the proper qualified people do it, they don't even need to hire someone full time. They could just go to a consultant and ask. They're like, nope, I'll ask ChatGPT. So yeah, that was towards the end where I was like, nah, I have to leave this place ASAP. I'm also designed to sound correct without knowing anything. That's funny. I mean, AI for real, my intelligence is definitely artificial. Well, I am the complete opposite of AI. I am the opposite of artificial intelligence. I am genuine stupidity. And I stand by that proudly. We say no to AI. So I saw that in a meme once, and I found it funny. 97% of the time, I don't search important stuff. Makes sense. I am the AI arch nemesis. I'm natural stupidity. Hey, it's okay. Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I'm not even claiming credit for it. I saw it somewhere else. I saw it as a meme, like if someone did a drawing. They were an artist, and they're like, I'm not AI. I am genuine stupidity. Yeah, something like that. And it's just someone holding a crayon. Wally, if you're gonna roll around on the floor. Oh, but Julian's here. I wanted to pick him up and like throw him aside. But if I did that, Julian would think there's a flying cat coming towards her. Would I have to share the same brain cell with the dense one? Yeah, now whenever you make fun of me, just know that you're on the same wavelength. Stop clicking my mouse, Wally. Okay, you need to go. Hold on. I'm evicting him. Okay, he's gone. Or believe me, I'm far below that wavelength. Oh, Feather's here. I just remembered. I have an important question. Why do people think I have bottom energy? I'm not a loot person. I don't know what energy I give off. Apparently, Maya thinks so too. They said that in Nadia's chat earlier today. I'm like, first Feather. Now Nadia. You have some bottom energy. But why do you think that? Something must, let's not go too much into detail, keep it say so, but I'm just genuinely curious. How do you know what that energy is? Hush, child. Yeah, just out of curiosity. Because I think I'm the kind of person who, in my opinion, it's because you appear to have people-pleasing attitude. It is generally service tops, bottoms have understandable. You don't raise your voice, you seem more happy to go with the flow, etc. You know, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, I'm leaving. Okay, bye-bye. Good night. Well, thanks for stopping by, Hypnos. Nice meeting you, and hope to see you again. I stream same time, same place, 2 days from now. So yeah, my Twitch schedule is pretty accurate, so you can always check there. And we have our Discord, purely optional. Just putting this out there, so it's not necessarily that you're gonna just drop tunes and say, cuff me, I'll do anything. Understandable. But you're more the kind But you're like more likely to be the one going with the other person if they have an active one rather than raising your own, leading. Ah, okay, okay. That makes sense. Because I'm the kind of person, if I don't have a strong opinion, I default to what the other person is interested in. Like, for example, if we're choosing where to go eat, I'm like, no strong preference. What do you want? But if I decide, like, oh, I actually want this, then I have no issue raising that. Like, for example, you mentioned the people pleasing things. I mentioned it here, I think like before. Actually, it hasn't. It's been a while. I mentioned that I am polite, but that's not the same thing as nice. I'd be like, yeah, this person seems friendly and nice, and I'll be polite. But as soon as I feel like, oh, this is, how do you say this? Say someone wants to hang out, and they're a friend of mine, right? Um, I'm always down to hang out. Be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Just let me know. I'm like, oh, they want to hang out. I think it'll be fun, and yeah, we do that. I'm like, oh, it'll make them happy. Always happy to oblige, but I'm like, I'm tired today. Uh, they could not even, no matter what, drag me outside. I have either very strong opinions or no opinions at all. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Because if I have my own, I raise them a lot, but most of the time, I just don't. Like, I don't have that opinion. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I understand now. To be fair, I think it's part like you read bottom and have very extreme interpretation. Understandable. The reason I was surprised is because I feel like a lot of my IRL friends who, if you try telling them that, they would look at you very confused. They're like, that petty bitch is not pleasing anyone. I mean that in a say so way. Because especially to a lot of my friends, I'm very sassy, mean with dry, sarcastic humor, right? I don't do that on stream a lot. Like, I do hold those jokes back. Ow. Simply because it's very easy for them to be taken seriously. And yeah, I don't want that. So that's the kind of humor I reserve for like people who know me really, really well. And they know, like, no matter what I say, like, this, it's either I'm saying good things or the stuff that I'm saying is obviously in a joking manner. So yeah, if there's even the slightest possibility for doubt, I never make those jokes. Yeah, okay, I understand. That's for educational purposes. It's just still a say so stream. I was just genuinely curious because it happened today. I was like, once is random, twice is coincidence. I decided not to wait for it to become a pattern. Ooh, also earlier today, I opened OBS because I'm like, I have to fix my audio settings because a part of me feels like, the voice sounds like a little bit off and things like that. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I made these settings, like the OBS filters and compressors, expander, blah, 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 all that nerdy stuff. I'm like, I made this at the very beginning and maybe I didn't do it correctly. And sometimes that's why the audio on my stream sounds like a bit strange. It sounds maybe a bit muffled, or the mic audio is like a little crunchy, the slightest bit. But when I was testing it, it's completely fine, and I couldn't understand why until I realized, oh, whenever I listen to my voice back, it's usually at the end of the VODs where my voice is just tired. But when I'm testing it and my voice is fresh, it sounds okay. So I'm like, ah, that's a thing I learned today. My voice isn't terrible, and neither are my settings. I still have that the very normal thing where people don't like hearing recordings of their voice, but I think like the longer I stream, the more I encounter, yeah, the more I hear my voice back, and sometimes I look at the clips that have been made, right? So I hear my voice more and more. So check Discord. Okay. But yeah, I hear my voice more and more, and the more I'm exposed to it, the more natural it sounds to me. So I'm like, I'm slowly getting over it. Ooh, I also want a bonk emote. I saw one that was in I can't remember who used it, Feather, in your Discord, but I saw it as like a. I was like, that is a wonderful bonk emote because it's like the hammer and like the whole head just jiggles as well. I was like, I want to make one of those. Ah, I see the. Okay. Well, I hope this commission paid well. It deserves to be. I can't share this on stream for reasons, but everyone will just have to trust me that. Take my word for it. You know, for someone who $50, build your portfolio. All right. Okay. My full body VTuber models go for 500 to 2,000 US dollars. My first ever commission that I took for a full body model was $150 for both art and rigging. So yeah, get what's it called? Ooh, you can't put this on VGen. Okay, if you accepted the payment through VGen, you can get the review, but you can't get the verified. Yeah, you can't get the verified commission thing because I think they have a not safe for work policy. But yeah, that's the journey of being an artist. You start off really undercharge, right? This is basically a familiar tale. It is my own. Severely undercharge. Build a portfolio, right? Build a portfolio. Get a lot of reviews. Have a bunch of past work. And then very slowly, as demand increases, the price slowly goes up as well. Also, very useful tip in the commission form, always ask for their budget, right? Because you may undercharge, but a lot of the times they are willing to pay what they feel you deserve. Because some people are nice. Like I straight up give like lower prices, and like I actually had that one time. Someone is like, oh, I want a lot of stuff, and this price seems a bit low. It's like, here you go, threw me extra. So that was very nice of them. Ooh, I like VGen has a tipping feature. Can't put the videos are real. Nah, understandable. Or you could just heavily censor them. If you guys saw what it was, you basically have to censor half of it. Like any artist, you can just become famous and in demand, and then charges. Yeah, like for example, the like full body model. By the way, I charged, sure, my prices were very low, but so was my quality. I was just starting out. So, as my quality slowly improved, so did my prices. Like it went from 150, then it started to be like 200, and then 250. It's only recently I've started doing that with my mascot commission, simply because my queue started getting a bit too long, so I raised my price by like $50. So I'm like, Also, I really have to pee. I was hoping for the ad break, but I might not survive that long. But yeah, art is a journey. If you take like commissions and stuff, you start off small and, eventually work your way up. There are like some debates about like undercharging and like the negative effects and all that. I'm a firm believer of anyone should just charge whatever they want, right? In a perfect world, everyone would have higher prices, and then, no one is undercharging and undercutting their fellow artists. But we don't live in a perfect world, and, we do what we gotta do. So, but yeah, if you already have a bunch of people who like the work that you create, then opening commissions, you already have like a little bit of a head start, because there's already people who are interested, and they're like, oh, commissions have opened, gotta get me one of those. But before we continue that, I have to use the bathroom. Let me put a little BRB on screen. BRB bathroom. Oh, oops. Okay. Don't burn the place down while I'm gone. This very world is a perfect one. All of us could make a connection to one another. Well, I do have a riot redeem. Yeah. The world is not perfect, but it's not bad either. Yeah. That's the one. Okay, I gotta go before I explode. BRB. Oh my god, everything's on fire. I leave for 5 minutes. What were we talking about? Oh, also my housemate's cat. Poor little guy. My housemate is gone for like a few days. I think he said like 10 days, something like that. This cat is basically just sitting outside his door, like mourning. Poor little guy. You know, cats can be very affectionate creatures. I don't know where people are like, oh, they're cats, they're mean, and all other nonsense and anti-cat propaganda. So while he's begging, he's learned this new trick. He's like a Pokemon. He learned the skill beg. So yeah, if he wants to go out, he'll open his eyes wide. He'll look at me, start going meow. You know, very very high pitched meow. And if I ignore him, what happens is he stands on his two legs at my chair, puts like his front paws on me, and it's like, if you ever seen the Puss in Boots, the Shrek movie, you know, when Puss in Boots starts begging and he uses his like quote unquote superpower? Yeah, it's basically that. What were we talking about before I left? I completely forgot. Let me scroll up. Oh, right, we're talking about art. But yeah, to each their own. There's no right way to do things. It's just that's what I did and what a lot of other artists do. You know, they have high quality work, but the pay that they get for it is usually quite low, which is okay. If you're looking for high quality work for and you have a very small budget, somewhat morally gray thing you could do is find smaller artists, because usually they're the ones who they have the quality but not yet the self-esteem. So yeah, you could probably get like really good quality artwork from there. And then as you do that, you could also leave a little tip, be like, hey, your prices should be higher, but thanks for this. And you know what? Maybe they'll go, you know what? They should be higher, and then raise them. I'll head off and eat. Wish everyone the best. Good luck, Densuan. Many bricks thrown at you. Bye-bye. Well, thanks for stopping by. See you later. This one's wearing a scarf. I need to remember that. So I'm feeling kind of sleepy too. That's okay. We can keep going. I don't finish the art, because at least if I finished the art, I would have done half the model in one day. I forgot what I was doing. Right, mouth. Ooh, my head is hurting. You know, today I didn't take any medicine for my headaches. Usually, I take them like every other day. But today I was like, it's not too bad. I can just tank it. I'm regretting that decision. I did see, I always see posts online where people are like, oh, this is a great remedy for migraines. And it's just like, they put like really hot water in a tub and they soak their feet in it. Yeah, apparently it draws the blood away from like the brain. And that relieves some of the pressure. And I was like, I really want to do that and see if it works. Because I don't think the medicine is a good thing long term. But I only ever take it if it's like it gets bad. And then I have cats like Wally. You just make that headache worse. Where'd he go? Oh, he's down here. They're so cute though. You know, you can never really blame a cat for its mischief, you know? That's just how they are. When you look at a cat, you should just remember, this is a creature that has the brain of like a human 2-year-old. So I don't know why some people, they get like upset. They're like, oh, he's being naughty and mischievous and... Right? It's a cat. They don't have the capacity for that. They're just doing, you know, what any other child would do. I had to explain this concept to my mom. I really love the idea of using this common assets, you know, just like the eyes, and reusing it. Because now, I basically give the what do you call it? Since it's so easy to just add, I usually just give the expressions away for free. Okay, that's perfectly center. I don't think I'll finish the model today. Yeah, I'm just... I think the act of getting up and moving has made like the blood flow around my body a bit more. Now I feel like a spike has been inserted into my brain. So yeah, I think I'll just go lay down. Anyway, we've been live for almost 3 hours, which is back to our normal. There was like a time where I started getting like kind of tired and only stream for like an hour. But yeah, it's nice to see that we're getting back to our usual. So, who do we know that's live? Actually, I'm not seeing anyone really. Yeah, it's fine. We'll just call it a day. Anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by. I'm very tired, so English is failing me. And I'm just slowly gonna sink to the bottom of the screen. And then from there, I'll end the stream. So, thanks everyone for stopping by again. I'll probably finish this model off stream. And yeah, I'll show you guys later in the Discord. Okay, bye-bye. I feel my voice slowly dying.